Cycling is a big part of our life, and it made a lot of sense to live on the peninsula. The peninsula offers so much. There are flat roads for road riding, there are hills and valleys for challenge, there are amazing trails, and there's a Olympic Discovery Trail as well. So I think that the North Olympic Peninsula is a real destination for cyclists.
We look at the area as a lifestyle, and some place where it's natural, and we have the biodiversity of the various animals and the vegetation.
There's so many things to do on the peninsula. The more art I do, the more interest becomes in different activities, which on the peninsula there's almost anything you can do, anything you want to do, from surfing to snowboarding to mountain biking, running, kayaking, hiking. It's all these activities. They're all within like a half hour of each other somewhere, and almost anywhere you're at on the peninsula, you can do any one of those activities.
I think the special thing about the Strait is the you want it but you can't have it dynamic, and when you do get it, it's unparalleled, and it's in the beauty and the quality of the surf and the surf experience.
I was originally drawn to the peninsula for the mountains, but I ended up falling in love with the forest and the rivers and the coast, pretty much everything about it. As part of my graduate research at Oregon State, I was able to walk miles and miles of the Elwha River. My research was about river-dependent bird species like harlequin ducks, common mergansers, American dippers, belted kingfishers, and spotted sandpipers. And because there was so much solitude and beauty in that work, it ended up cementing my appreciation for all that the peninsula has to offer.
I am here on an Audubon Society field trip, part of the field trips organized by Olympic Peninsula Audubon Society, with my fellow bird watchers here. And we are looking at birds today on Edda's Hook, which is one of the traditional spots that we go to along the North Olympic coastline to look for water birds. And so one of the big focuses along this section of coast is looking for all the birds that hang out on salt water. And so we really appreciate public lands where we can get down to the shoreline and look for birds.
What makes this area great for gooey ducking is, one, there's a lot of them around here, and there's a lot of sandy, shallow areas along the coast that make it easier for gooey duck divers to be a thing.
So Elwha river climbing is a very unique situation. It's, as you can see, situated right up above the Elwha River, below the old lower dam site. Back in the day, we used to walk across the top of the dam to access the crag. Now we have a hike in from the highway. We still have access to the climbing area, and it's some really neat sandstone climbing. It's not something you find pretty much anywhere in the state.
What I love about foraging in the Olympic Peninsula is being so close to my food, being able to go to the beach or up in the mountains, and it's always a fun experience for one to look for it and to be able to identify different species. And I feel like we're coming back, you know, as a people to like wanting to know where our food comes from. And out here on the Olympic Peninsula, we have the opportunity to do that.
Bicycles are the best invention people ever came up with. They make the world big again. As you move slowly through the world, you see your scenery changing, you smell it, you feel the temperature, you hear sounds. It's a wonderful way to travel.
The peninsula is, you know, famous for variable weather, and you can't count on what you think it's going to be, and that's the same with the surf. All the numbers and all the calculations and all the tides and winds can add up to what you think is going to be your day, and you end up sitting here doing what we're doing now when it's onshore.
So the Olympic Peninsula has a lot of opportunities for researching all kinds of communities and specific organisms. I've been fortunate enough to look at intertidal creatures in sandy and rocky intertidal habitats, working with birds, of course, and the vegetation from forest floor to canopy.
I use a lot of the Olympic Peninsula as outdoor inspiration in my work.
But it's nice to be out here, and this is our office instead of stuck inside and having to do paperwork.
You know, birding is kind of like in a sense, it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. You know, we're out there looking for something unusual, but we also really appreciate the common birds. One of our little mottos is saying something like, keep common birds common. And so as we do these counts, as we do these observations, one of the things we notice is how the birds change from time to time, how they change over the years, populations going up and down, so we're trying to keep an eye on that as well.
The peninsula is really special. It's from the water all the way to the mountains. It's just a gorgeous place to live and ride a bike.
And you're not surfing, but we were just sitting here, we saw a bald eagle fly by with the fish in its claws, you know, I mean, that is really what's so special about surfing here, is that the waves are really, really good when it happens, and that is the ultimate icing on the cake of something that's already just a great experience.
It's just really, really a fun place to live. We're out in the weather, we're with nature, and that's the way we like it.